Everybody, welcome back, and we have winners finals about to kick off as we have Reactor 9 going up against Empyreal. I'm here with Kamika as we are going to be bringing you through this action. Kamika, how are you feeling about this next series coming up?
Well, looking at the players that are taking part, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, obviously, if you're looking at Imperial's roster, one name stands out to me in particular, and that is Kex. He's an amazing player. He's very young, very cracked. He's been rising up very, very high. I guess you could call him a rising star in the COD community. And yeah, him being on the team, it gives me a lot of high expectations for them. And I mean, they've been beating those all day, beating Acrylic and Chaos to get here.
And those are some big teams, and Chaos is currently in our losers semis right now, going up against the rematch in Providence. But it'll be interesting to see how they can go, as they were undefeated all the way through pool play. They have dropped one map in each of their series, but that's not too much to fret. But you do wonder, which map is it? Is it their Search and Destroy that's kind of been their kryptonite? Are they like Cerberus, where they will win the respawns but can't win the search? And my goodness, I know what you're going to say, but Hotel coming on in for the first three maps.
You got to say it right, Graph. It's Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, a little bit of a joke because everyone's always playing at Hotel. Everyone's always kicking in at the Hotel, Motel, Holiday Inn. And so here we find ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, Empyreal versus Reactor 9. Both teams undefeated. Both teams trying to go on to the grand finals.
And the biggest thing for the side of Reactor 9 is the player they need to step up is Daz. He had such a slow start when we casted him earlier, and if he does that again, they just will not be able to climb back from that deficit against a team like Empyreal, because they will make you pay, and it's going to be so difficult to do so. Phenom, also a phenomenal AR on the side of Reactor, but who turned it up the last time? It was God Bowser, and he is currently 2-1 to start.
Yeah, and other people on Reactor 9 that I recognize are Phenom and Stunna, aka Stunna the GOAT. Very, very high level player, this guy. Cal, making me think that I should start remembering this guy's name as well as he turns and burns onto two of them. Phenom, though, getting a solid rotate alongside God Bowser. Not a whole lot of time going in the hands of Empyreal in exchange for this, but, I mean, it's still possible they could go for a break, coming in from multiple different sides, and Kex going to be opening a very good avenue of attack.
And right now, it's going to be the side of Empyreal sitting in a good spot. Unfortunately, it will be a few players from Reactor 9 who are... Oh, they're actually the team. Oh, my color blindness really kills me sometimes, as they are the one holding on to the hill. And it looks like they are knocking every single player of Empyreal down, and they're falling one by one. It will be Kex, the player you were highlighting right before this series started on up. He has been a rising star throughout the Call of Duty community. He's currently trying to go big, but again, the setup, it's been relatively clean for the side of Reactor. As I say that, it will be God Bowser, the last player left alive, to maybe find an opening, but nope, Phenom, he comes in off the respawn, and honestly, a very solid hold for the side of Reactor.
Yeah, and I love this from God Bowser, wasting literally no time. Gets that kill, instantly going for the rotation to flip out the spawns. Empyreal, they're going to be set up in here pretty dang hunkered down. But if you can get a kill on here, get a little kill onto DMAC, then you can flip them out, make it a little bit less easy to hold on to this. Oop, interesting physics there. As Stunna going on in here, and it appears that he accidentally killed his teammate somehow. But either way, Reactor 9 going to look to break the hardest hill to break on the map.
And currently, Empyreal, they are fully set up. They're ready for this one, but I love that how he takes down the trophy. Unfortunately, he's not able to take down any members of the other team, as they're going to go hunting for him, and they will absolutely find him, as it is Freaky getting a triple 5-1 Calamity as well, going big. And this was a perfect example of how you hold on to that kitchen hill.
Yep, they are going to be getting off of it. Just trying to go for this rotation. Kex, a sole survivor. He's on the wall bang position. As you can see, Stunna going for him. But he's switched up his spot, and Freaky will be able to take down not one, but two with the assistance of DMAC. And so, Kex looking for a rotation here. Going to be knowing that there's at max 2 people here, and he favors himself in 1v2 situations. Knows how to take these. But unfortunately, he's going to get a little bit too oppressed and taken down by the frag. So Reactor will have a good rotation to P4.
And Phenom, he'll be the player to cut down that initial push from one, but you still have Kex is pushed up, and I don't think anybody realizes he is right there. It will be DMAC watching out over him, and all he does is just staying alive, and oh, he actually got stuck into the head, and the nade still kills Freaky trying to work his way up the steps, so Reactor9 doing a good job holding on in, but look at number 3. Freaky will actually spawn on out, and number 7, he's just not going to be ready. Phenom should get shot in the back as well, and he does, and oh, that's just unfortunate for the side of Reactor9 as Freaky gets a triple. They just weren't able to read that spawn.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left, that could be huge for them, considering that these guys are basically inseparable in terms of their time on the board. Freaky, another kill. Is there anything this guy can't do? I was calling out Kex, but maybe, again, I should be paying attention to this guy, as he's got 4 kills in a row. Once again, having an absolute day. Stunna getting stunned off the kill, but does eventually right his aim onto the head of Kex. And Reactor9 are going to be nice and ready on this next objective. Only 10 seconds down and counting.
Oh, and God, Bowser plays that one perfect. He peeks the angle, will find 1 kill as Kessie's going to work his way on in. And ooh, a little bit of an ego DMAC there for the trade. And he allows his submachine gun to come on in, and that will be Calamity finishing up at 3 in a row as they once again get another break. But nobody's been really able to get a solid chunk of time except for that P3.
They got stuck on each other. Unfortunate, and Stunna getting zoned off the angle as well. God, Bowser killing Kex in the middle of the map does open up things, and DMAC going to get a little bit bullied off the angle as well, making Empyreal's position a little bit less tenable on the objective, getting as much time as they humanly can before retreating. Reactor9 now in a good position to flip out these spawns. If they try to brute force this, they could very well catch out Empyreal and take these P5 spawns away from them before the hill even pops.
And it's coming up to Daz. He's going off currently 11 and 10, but oh, DMAC! We almost had the triple, but he does enough to just at least delay God Bowser. And you know that he is weak, so you only have to worry about the front. But now some of the reinforcements come on in. Calamity with the beautiful read. Kex as well. And this could be a great hold here for the side of Empyreal, and they could really run up the scoreline.
Oh my God, what an amazing recovery there from Empyreal as well. They were looking like they were going to get flipped out there for a second. DMAC had other ideas, and the rest of the Empyreal guys just all falling in line to kill every single one of the Reactor9 guys twice in a row. 2 full team wipes. Reactor9 still knocking on the door, asking questions, making good attempts to spite this to their credit, but Freaky knows exactly where they are, calling them out. Unfortunately, not able to get that spectacular kill. And Bowser will get a little bit of time, but look at how free and clear Empyreal are. If they can keep this going into the next hill, which Stunna has something to say about apparently, they can still be looking good, but Stunna making it a little bit harder for them to continue this momentum.
That was a good 20 seconds for the side of Reactor as well, as that could have been a big swing. You would have found yourself down to 170 to basically 100, and now you have it really pushed in to about 30 points as Kex, oh my goodness, and he slid down those stairs, made it look easy, and then Freaky flies off the top catwalk, and he gives no cares in the world as he is challenging every single member, but God, Bowser is going to hop on into the time, and this is what Reactor does so well. They capitalize every single kill that they get, and they're always trying to hop into the hill.
Yeah, I was really curious what HP Freaky was at the end there, because that dude just ate a whole bunch of bullets for breakfast and spat him out. But either way, Cal and the guys are on the objective doing a good job at getting all this time, keeping the distraction from Reactor9 all the way over here. They're not fully able to set up. As you can see, they do have DMAC over here to play spoiler in the spawn block position, but he's being contested for it by Stunna. Good 2 ARs going on here. But DMAC is going to be the superior one in this scenario, as now Empyreal getting the majority of this hill time on P1 and combining that with P2 rotation. That is massive.
Yeah, this is looking scary for Reactor. They need to find an early break. You cannot allow them to break that 200-point marker because it's going to be so difficult to come on back from as they are taking their time. They're winding up for this hit. It's just a matter, can they get the openers? But no, it's Freaky on 5 in a row, and DMAC is still here, and he will find another one as well. And will a challenge come through? And oh, he looks the wrong way, and it is too easy for the side of Empyreal.
DMAC with another. It is too easy for DMAC. He's coming up behind him again. They just don't seem to be getting the message. He's feeling ready to go to say it to them once again, just so they get the message. Kex picking up where he left off as well. These guys are cracked, busting at the seams with talent, dude. And here he goes again. Kex in the rotation, pulls out the gun just in time. Amazing to not die there. 1 HP left. Going for the shell anyway and wins it. This guy is just absolutely nuts. Going for God Bowser as well. Zero respect given. He knows he's better. Cal catched him through the wall. And this is looking like Freaky going to be ending this one off. Knows exactly where he is. Going for the aggression. Shouting him out. Still living somehow. These guys are just undominable. They are inevitable. And they are unstoppable, it seems like. As God Bowser, one last chance, does catch Kex, but will somehow stay alive against Cal. Still making something happen, and man, still going on apparently.
Yeah, only 5 seconds left though, but you cannot deny that was Kex and Freaky popping off for the side of Empyreal. They're looking to close out this map one relatively quick, but you know who else is starting to pop off? It's my man God Bowser out there doing his best Jack Black impression, as we are going to be seeing another P4 and another big gunfight out on the backside, and Daz does happen to win it, so this one not quite over, but all you need is one clean set of kills if you're Empyreal, and this game is done and dusted.
Yep, and the rotation is going to be here. The one person that can stop it is going to be Daz, the one player you pointed out that needs to pop off. In he goes, trying to make it happen, picks the wrong spot, but still in the contest spot, baits him out for his teammates. And just like that, Empyreal 2 seconds away from victory are going to be getting a little bit blocked off. This Kex going in for the win. God Bowser trying to stop it, but Kex going back in for seconds. Contesting just barely here. Bowser Phenom trying to give some assistance, where assistance is definitely needed, but he kills him just a split second enough to seal that one off. Kex, fist pumps all around. Freaky feeling real good after that one, I'm sure.
The energy in the venue, you can tell, is at an all-time high. Empyreal, they're the team that has been rested, because a lot of these teams, they are running on basically no sleep, only 2 to 3 hours. And I want to point out, even though Reactor was not able to come away with that one, it was so impressive. God Bowser, the way he was maneuvering around that P4 and just contesting it for that 1 second was honestly, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, you could literally hear me. By the way, I was talking. I thought that they were about to slam that one shot, rotate on in, and bully them off the objective, and have a really solid way to end that one. I mean, they still did. It was pretty convincing performance there, especially coming out of that P2. Astonishing. That P1 to P2 rotation from Empyreal. They looked literally unstoppable in that scenario. Obviously, there is some things that R9 can do, but they got to do a little bit more. Otherwise, they're just going to keep losing these maps to Empyreal.
Empyreal's been dominant all weekend long as well. They went perfect in pool play, and then they've only dropped 2 maps altogether come Championship Sunday. So they are looking like the juggernauts of this venue. And can anybody slow them down? Because they're looking to punch their ticket to that grand finals. And remember, if they get there, they are guaranteed at least $700. The winner does get $1,700. That's a total of $24. And just great stuff coming out of the side of Empyreal. But if you're Reactor 9, they've come down to these sticky situations where their search and destroy has really been something they've had to lean on in the past. And I'm curious if they're going to be able to do it on a hotel, which was the pick for Empyreal. They need to have a good bounce back here.
I mean, at least you could say about R9 is that their search and destroy is better than Cerberus's, because they beat them twice on it in their last series. So we know that R9 can at least beat Cerberus in the search and destroy, so that's something to go off of. Either way, that all jokes aside, Phenom and Stunna, these guys are goated players. His name was literally Stunna the Goat for a reason. And so Stunna, I've seen this guy do nasty things to people, just tie them in knots. This is his mode from what I've seen him do. He always does really good in search and destroy. Phenom, a really good AR, gonna give him some great overwatch on the attack and on the defense. And so, yeah, I still have some great faith in R9 and their ability to do some search and destroy. Kex and Empyreal, they've got some great individual skill, and they've shown that they all have the ability to put that skill together. But, I mean, R9, these guys have been playing for quite a long time. They're a little bit older than some of the players in Empyreal, I'm assuming. And so with that comes a little bit of experience. So I guess I could say it's going to be a little bit of crackedness versus experience going on here, Graf.
Yeah, and having that mental fortitude to be able to bounce back is going to be huge for those guys. And that comes with that experience, having that seasoned veteran calming everybody down, saying, hey, let's hit that reset button, make sure we bounce back here in that map too. And their biggest problem, right, is going to have to be to slow down Kex and Freaky. Those guys were flying across the map. It felt like every single chow they were taking was, not going to go their way, but they still somehow won it. But a player that kind of turned it up on the end, and I saw this coming in through the winners bracket earlier, it was God Bowser. This guy, when it came to an Albagra Fortress, Matt Ford, he just absolutely ripped a team to shreds, and he dropped, I think, 36 or something around 38. And he just has those moments where you can tell he's starting to hit his stride. And I think right at the very end, when the game was on the line, he's like, okay, I have to go big. He was delaying the inevitable, but still, he was making plays. And we'll see if he can continue that come to the search.
And another thing to say is I think both these teams probably needed a little bit of a warm-up, to be totally honest with you, because let's not forget, they had a whole series, that's like an hour and 30 minutes between when they played the guys that just played in the losers bracket and now. So both teams probably shaking the rust off a little bit, as much as you can get in an hour and 30 minutes. But Empyreal seemed to do that just a little bit faster than R9. You could definitely see God Bowser, like Graf pointed out, coming in true stride towards the end. He was literally just smacking people in the 1v1s on that P3, snaking the angles quite well. And I mean, R9, these guys are on paper a really, really solid team that I would expect to go far. And so I wouldn't expect them just to get 3-0'd in this winners final by any means.
I wouldn't expect that either. And in fact, I do think they can take this search. It'll be relatively close, maybe 6-4, 6-5 if we go that distance. And I just want to let everybody know we'll try to give you updates of that Providence versus Chaos Esports rematch, because remember, it was Chaos who took down Providence in that winners round 1. And Providence has gone all the way through losers bracket to come in and face off against them once again. You saw that interview with Rispy. He was feeling himself, feeling confident, saying he's basically untouchable. But a lot of respect being garnered, as he was also giving a shout out to the captain of Chaos in Lucio, saying, hey, we play these guys a lot. They're good at search and destroy, and you're really going to need that. But as I'm hearing right now, Kamika, we're going to be loading on into this map too. What are your final predictions for this hotel?
My final predictions is what it's going to come down to, is, at least in the early game, is how much R9 can shut down the aggressive plays coming out from Empyreal, because on Hotel, there's quite a lot you can get away with if you know how to play aggressively on this map. You can just bypass the mid-map hold angle, run right up to where one of your ARs want to be holding, pressure the inside of bedroom just from the stairs, just dolphin diving across the mid. And with that, I've seen players like Kex do that, Freaky. If you get a player in that position, it can be really deadly and lead to some easy plants on the A-bomb site.
Just be annoying too. If you're that submachine gun, you have dead silence, tuck yourself into a corner, run around on them in top or bottom bedroom, either or. But no matter what, we're gonna get another hotel after this map. But the search and destroy, this is gonna be big, as God Bowser, he's just flying on through. And will they check this angle? No! Freaky with 2! Can he make it a 3? Yes, he can! Is he gonna get the 4th? It doesn't even matter, but Freaky with the triple to start.
Man, Reactor9, they tried to come in a little sneaky-like onto their opponents, thinking, oh, there's no way they're gonna expect us to go for B. A is the expected route, so let's go to B. But clearly, all it takes is one player to throw a wrench in that plan and just not properly checking all your angles. They were thinking that, oh, he's going to be holding a little bit further back, so let me stun check this out. And while they are still mid-stun check, turns the angle, fries them alive in the kitchen. And so, Empyreal starting things off literally perfectly. Haven't taken a single death.
I mean, that wasn't a Kentucky fry. That was a flash fry, because it was so quick out there. And Empyreal, there you go. As Empyreal looking to get it done here on the offense, and nobody over towards this B site. And look who's lurking. It's going to be DMAC on the other side of the map, trying to work through the restaurant. And I think they're kind of getting all that information, but maybe a little bit too slow, because it's going to be number 4 in Stunna and then Phenom working their way back to B. And they could have had a chance, and maybe this slow, methodical approach for Empyreal on the attack might come back to bite him, because it's going to be a setup now for the side of Reactor.
Yep, and Stun is in a great position to deny B. All he's got to do is do exactly what he just did. Throw down that trophy system, make sure he doesn't get naded off the angle, and anyone that tries to go for a bomb plant will have to answer to him, more or less. So, Empyreal, they're evaluating their options. They're saying, all right, hey, we just bullied a guy off an angle. Let's go rotate over here. I'm going to see how stuck in I can get. Cal already going to be pressuring bedroom, and Daz not really got anyone helping him here aside from Bowser in a great position. But Ooh, gets bullied off once again. That's making me think that Cal's gonna go even deeper, and this bomb is now being planted.
Oh, but Stunna with a beautiful read. He does happen to take down Cal, but Freaky on the other end, he sits at 4 in a row, and he does have his Dead Silence pop, but Daz with a beautiful 1v1 against Kex. But it still comes down to Freaky, and then number 1, it's Phenom, and he gets the better of him. Now, DMAC, you're in a 1v3. What do you have left?
Apparently a whole lot, but not if you're DMAC. Daz taking him down for the count, and the defuse will be coming their way. Reactor 9 just keeping enough people alive, keeping long enough angles to where Empyreal just can't bully them with their sub-aggression. It's exactly what we were worried about early on, or at least what I was really worried about early on. Kex, I had a feeling that they were just going to try and rush them on in there, but playing as far back as Stunna did with the door open, great way to counter that. And Reactor 9, their methodology, again, my favorite word, does tend to get them through to the end.
And it was good stuff because they did not over-challenge, right? They allowed the side of Empyreal to make their mistakes, and it came down to the clock, right? It was 25 seconds. The bomb still hadn't been planted. You kind of had that information that they had wrapped it all the way back through spawn, and what that does, it just allows Reactor to get themselves into a better position and find those opening kills, those opening stuns, to at least back off the rest of the players from Empyreal to not be able to overwatch their teammates. But one guy you do not want to be dealing with, again, it is Freaky. Is it going to happen for a second offense in a row?
The answer is no. Reactor 9 learning from their mistakes early on. Well played in punishing Empyreal for their hold inside there. Punching them for the rotation as well. Cal is going to be doing a good job of catching one on the way out, but it's easier to catch them on the angle, but it's harder to run on in there with a pistol and a sniper all in your hand. He has a whole bunch of people with subs snaking angles. Gonna see if you can catch him on the snake, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult missing, and just gonna be waiting for him to come on in. Great shot with the follow-up onto Daz. Looking to make this happen. Cal, one in the chamber and one enemy in front of him, and gets caught mid-sprint, unfortunately for him. Reactor 9, well adjusted.
Yeah, you can see they're locked and loaded right now. Everybody making sure they're sitting at the top of their game. I mean, that Calamity showing a little cheekiness with that sniper. Unfortunately, a 1v4, and the bomb is down in a close quarters situation. You are not going to have a fun time trying to get that retake, and does get 2 for his troubles. But again, the setup just a little bit too clean and too many members to deal with. But Reactor, they were not fazed by that basic triple coming out of Freaky in round 1 as they take 2 back-to-back. What can they get done here on the defenses? I would like to see Empyreal get a little bit more aggressive, more decisive, because they played that B site the first round a little bit too slow, and it kind of costed them the round.
Interesting position here from Bowser. I don't think that you would be very inclined to check the spot, and no, they're not, but he misses the shots. Following it up, does get one good kill. Teammate is going to be there with the follow-up potentially. Phenom looking to open up the door, and does get Kex off the angle as well. Rotation now coming in from Reactor 9. At least you can say about Reactor 9 is that they are reacting to their opponent's plays.
But sometimes one thing I love to say is you got to be more proactive than reactive.
True.
I mean, the side of Stunna, as he's been holding off this site so well. The bomb just still has not gone down, and this has got to be frustrating for Empyreal. You have these small openings, but look at this. They're wrapping it back, and I love the decisiveness coming through where they immediately know, hey, there's too many players from the side of Reactor sitting on this side of the map. Let's go and get the bomb down essentially for free. And right now, if you're Reactor 9, play this retake, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and Cal just waiting for the call that players are coming their way. He's going to hit that flank so hard. I'm ready for it. And so, Kex just sitting on the close angle with the sub. What else are you going to do? Coming from down low, though, is going to be Daz. Might be able to catch this player on an off angle. Stunna going to be cut out first, though. Kex is going to be return fired upon by Daz behind the desk. Will be yielding a kill towards Freaky. Phenom knows exactly where he's at, but does he expect Cal in the middle of the map? The answer is going to be yes. He sees his leg poking out around the side. And Phenom all alone up against Freaky, knows exactly where he is, but time is running out. Perfectly timed check there from Freaky, and perfect snaking of the angle as well. Phenom not going to be able to get this one done. Does at least get the kill to maybe amount some streaks for the next round.
That's a big round for Empyreal because they do not want to be down 3-1 against Reactor. They get it all tied up. I mean, I thought Freaky maybe was going to get gunned right off that head glitch. Unfortunately, does not happen for the side of Reactor, but getting it down to a 2-2, and look who's popping off. We were talking about him. You were hyping him up. It's Phenom, 5-1 to start, and he's currently on that kill streak and potentially able to earn that glide bomb. Granted, not necessarily the most useful on this map, but again, it's just all about that information and playing off what you can gather.
Yeah, if I'm one of the Reactor 9 guys, I'm baiting out for my teammate. If I'm getting shot at, I'm running right back to where Phenom can follow up the kill. Even if I die, it's worth if he gets that final kill. But unfortunately, Reactor 9 are going to be getting killed, but nothing in return for it so far. God Bowser does at least get up close and personal on the close angle on the stairs. Shots coming at him, and he knows exactly where one of them is now, but how is he going to turn this into a kill? Cal, apparently not ready for this, is going to get shot to pieces, and God Bowser now making a great little hole in the defenses of Empyreal.
And he cleared out that A site, or a majority of it, and he still catches out DMAC, yet the bomb is still down. Is anybody looking to go for it? That is the question, and finally, Phenom will be the player to pick it up. Kex holding the angle with the pistol, but God Bowser, he did such a great job at clearing out a lot of the area towards that A site, and they're wrapping this one back, but look at number 7. It's going to be Freaky, and then Stunna. This could be a gunfight that determines the entire map, and guess what? Freaky, he gets the read, and Kex, he might find this player out with the sniper.
If you saw the bomb, that would have been GG City for Reactor 9. Bomb plant going down now under immense pressure coming on in here. Trying to stop him is going to be Freaky. Either way, Kex getting the one down. Barely escaping Phenom, but he's getting his neck breathed down upon. He does turn around and smack Freaky upside the head. 19 HP, and Kex flying in with the pistol. Easiest decision of his entire career right there, and he will get the defuse.
I mean, good shots with the pistol as well. He banged right through that door, and he didn't miss a single bullet on the player overlooking that planter. And Empyreal, I mean, you had the numbers. You got down into a very sticky situation, but again, you rely on that young talent in Kex to make the play. And I mean, Phenom, you do get the streak in the end, but I think you would rather have the round. Still, you take an advantage here if you're Empyreal. And they're not necessarily the best at search and destroy, but they're making it work right now.
I mean, there was a world where he came out with both the streak and the win. Unfortunately, he was just a little bit tagged up too low. The Empyreal guys playing way too close together in order to facilitate the trade-out kill. All he had to do was just hit one singular bullet on him, and that is curtains for Phenom. So we'll still get the streak. One get out of jail free card in one of these rounds. We know exactly where Empyreal's going on this one. Getting rid of that trophy system, and Bowser getting rid of Kex and DMAC, as well as Freaky. This is looking like a rout on the A bomb site for Empyreal.
Calamity, he is out. He is making sure that he can maybe find one more of these players. And oh, that's a beautiful stun check, and he's going to eagle this guy, and he looks the wrong way. So this could be a 1v3 for Calamity. How demoralizing would this be if you're Reactor 9? But hey, we saw it in that opening round. They do not care if they lose some of these situations, but look at Stunna. He is positioned well, only has a breadstick to his name, but should be able to play this one slow and hear the footsteps coming all the way from Calamity.
This is a great spot from Stunna. I'm pretty positive he knows that that bomb is down. So all he's doing is he knows Cal, with the time left, has to come over here and is instantly going to go back over to A. He's going to see if he can hear him, and if he can't hear him, he's going to wait for the bomb to go down because he's running out of time. As soon as he goes for that bomb plant, as soon as he hears something, he's going to peek that angle, see exactly where he's at, and Cal will be out in the middle of nowhere with no possibility for escape, and Stunna will outplay him completely.
And that's why he is known as the GOAT, the 1v1 clutch. He didn't let that 1v3 slip through the fingers of Reactor 9 as they get it all tied up at 3 apiece. And just great stuff coming out of Stunna. You love the patience, and you called it perfectly. Once he heard that player pick up the bomb, he immediately knew he had an opportunity to find him, and that's exactly what happened. The freest one kill he'll ever get.
Yeah, but I mean, the ability to put yourself in that position, the wherewithal, the experience to know to do stuff like that. A lot of players, especially newer ones, I think would be freaking out in that moment, trying to take a route on this guy, find him wherever he's at. But Stunna's like, you know what? I know what I got going for me. I'm going to let him come to me, and I'm gonna force him to play by my own terms. That's exactly what he did. Reactor 9 now going for a strong play to A. Cal gonna be in a little bit of a different angle to stop this. Bowser bypassing the angle once again and is gonna be getting up towards stairs. So Cal has a little bit of something to worry about. God, Bowser decides to go this way.
Oh, and he catches out Cal. Too easy for him. He didn't even have the dead silent spot, but maybe it was just the sound of the glide bomb that kind of cluttered it up just a tad. As Kex, he's trying to get aggressive here with the sniper and the pistol. Is not able to hit the quick scope, but a bomb plant will go down, and this is a very difficult retake. You need to move fast because 35 seconds, you have a lot to clear out if you're Empyreal.
Yep, every angle is locked, and Freaky getting bullied off of the flank, and so instead they're gonna have to make a play through the middle of the map with DMAC, who's now 0-6, opening up the door, and Freaky's trying to come through the middle of the map. They know exactly where he's at, though. Well communicated and coordinated again from Reactor 9, and they will be going 1 point clear, the first win of the second half of the Search and Destroy, and with that could be a momentum shift graph.
Absolutely could be, but God, Bowser, look at him, 8-4. He is a player that has truly turned it up to the next level for Reactor 9 as they are trying to close out this map 2 and potentially get it all tied up at one map apiece. And if you're looking at Empyreal, like you said, it's DMAC 0-6 currently at the Dunkin' Donuts line as he had his order in, but unfortunately it looks like somebody took it and he said nothing about it. He needs to find a kill on the board.
Yeah, honestly, I think for Empyreal, Kex probably has to put away the sniper rifle, not because he's bad with it, but because the fact that God Bowser has been getting himself in that position, and it looks like that's exactly what he did. God Bowser going up close and personal is zoning him off from doing anything with that sniper rifle. Doesn't matter how good he is with it. If he can't get on an angle to get a kill with it, then he's not really able to do much for his team, and he's looking much better with that sub in his hand now.
He absolutely is, and I actually thought he was going to try to run across the catwalk, but I think number 4, and that's going to be Stunna all the way in the back, can see that cross and give the call out to any player sitting at top bedroom as they are wrapping this one quickly back to that B site. And Stunna, I mean, you've come up with some incredible plays before. I just don't think he's going to have the numbers advantage, but he will give that call out and say, hey, Phenom, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure over here. Can you come and help a brother out? But Kex, oh, he gets smoked, and now you're going to be playing a 3v2 retake.
Yep. Gonna not want to get naded out here. Trying to see if anyone's a free kill from this wall bang spot. Flank coming in at the same time from Daz. They're waiting for him to get in position so they can pressure and make so that when he does push, a little bit mistiming there, unfortunately. Great realizations from Calamity and DMAC. And Stunna gonna have to make his way back in. He's gonna have to expose himself to one of these guys in order to get this bomb defused. Or both of them at the same time. Just gonna try and fly on in. Phenom can't quite get it done, but Stunna, he's gonna at least try and get some kills on the way out of here because the defuse is completely and utterly out of the question. Checking just to be sure does result in his death, and body shots coming out from Stunna despite the L. But I mean, sometimes there's something to be said about the intimidation factor as well.
Yeah, and that was just a good rebuy.
Him though.
Yeah, that was a good read by Calamity on that one player in the flank, and that completely shut down that retake as they knew all they had to throw was a shoulder, and it was all over as DMAC, he got probably the freest kill, and guess what? He didn't join the agency. He finally got that kill, so good on him for getting that one done, but Phenom 10-4, God 8-5. On the other side, it's everybody pulling their weight for Empyreal, but my goodness, tied at 4 apiece. This is not what you want out of a search. If you're Empyreal, you want to show your dominance here, and if they take a 2-0 lead, you have a feeling they should be able to close it out in 3.
The question is, do they expect Freaky on this angle? They gotta do their due diligence, or it could be a repeat of round number 1. Stunning in, they got intel, they know where he's at, but they aren't able to react to him. Reactor 9 not reacting to the stun, and he does it again, ladies and gentlemen, taking the lead right on back and putting them onto map point.
My God, this guy is just incredible. Freaky getting it done. As you can see it, Jordan Wortman going big as he had no right to get the first and then absolutely another not to get the second. So if you are Empyreal, honestly, you are getting bailed out by some of these plays from, I believe, Freaky, and he's done it in round 1, and then you saw it in the round 9.
Yeah, it's 2 rounds that Freaky has been at least heavily involved in, going huge for his team. Now, trying to seal the deal, going in onto A. We might have our first round 11, but not if Empyreal has anything to say about it. Taking it slow and steady, making sure that no one's going to be on any cheeky angles, bulleting all the walls just in case there's somebody standing behind a spot that they can't see ready to pop out. I like the slow methodical play coming out from them. It's very out of character for Empyreal, but it might be exactly what they need.
Yeah, they're just trying to get any information and just basically bully anybody sitting in top bedroom. And Phenom, he's still kind of just roaming around that top side, and it's gonna be Daz. We haven't spoke his name, I don't think, at all in this search and destroy, and he had a really good map 1, just really wasn't able to capitalize because Empyreal's such a solid squad, and he does get tagged up by that grenade, so they have the information. He is there, but again, 30 seconds left, getting the bomb down relatively late, and it's going to be difficult, and Phenom will find it.
And they don't plant the bomb either. They are scrambling. Kel has to desperately go for it, and Phenom knows it. He's ready to go for it, checks it, kills him. And just like that, Freaky freaking out, running all over the place, seeing if he can get a kill here, flying at the guy bottom area, and he does get taken down now as well. Great comeback from Reactor9 in that round, and we do have our first round 11 of the entire tournament here, Graf.
I mean, it's about dang time right now. We wish it was a map 5, but it comes at a map 2, so we'll take what we can get. And Empyreal, a stat line I do want to point out is they only have 3 first bloods. So imagine if Reactor get this one, they would be 8-3 on bloods, and if they lost the round, that has got to be demoralizing for them. And honestly, that could be the series end, because taking out Empyreal in control, that is a tall task.
No! Oh, they got the stun check, but they didn't react in time to it, and Kex dies so early on. They're going to try and get a perfect nade onto Phenom's position. A little bit short, though. Freaky, at the very least, can be bypassing them and getting up into bedroom control, but Reactor9, they have a completely different idea. They're going for a weird little flank, a whole team around the back. DMAC, he's tasked with holding this. I don't think he's going to be quite ready for just the magnitude of players coming his way. And he has the bomb as well, so eventually he will have to give up this angle to go for the plant. So this plays again into Reactor9's favor. DMAC, the only one holding this angle, has to leave it eventually if they don't want to lose this one at a time.
And I think he got information, and maybe he did, and he's going to drop. And it just feels like Empyreal, they're playing so slow. They just have not been able to go toe-to-toe with Reactor. And right now you're in a 2v4, and the player that you probably do want in that situation, it will be Freaky. And unfortunately, the bomb having to go down at A, you have no control of your spawn. You are feeling scared, and guess what? They're just trying to play for a kill, and you have no other option. Right now, this is too easy for the side of Reactors. They will get one, but you need to get on the bomb, and will they be able to get it? Oh, Freaky covers him! Oh, but it's all
knocked him off at the
over.
perfect time, and Freaky puts his controller down, knows that they've run out of time, and Reactor9 getting it done, coming from behind and beating them in that search and destroy. Look at them. He's pointing them out. He's saying, "What happened, bro?" And so, yeah, proper question to be asking there. Reactor9 now tied in the series.
I mean, talk about kind of crumbling in that search and destroy. Empyreal, you were bailed out a few rounds, but it felt like they were simply outclassed, right? They just did not have maybe the strats that they wanted to, and it was on the offense, Kamika. They felt way too slow. They would wait till, 30 seconds to try to get the bomb down, if that. And it of course, allows the side of Reactor to be like, hey, they're just playing this one slow. Now we can just either challenge out, check the bomb, and guess what? They were getting freebies left and right, and guess what? The body shots didn't come back to bite them, so luckily they came away with it. But we're going to have a map 3 on a hotel, and this is going to be the interesting part. If you are Reactor9, it's about stealing a respawn, and if you, no matter what, they're going to go to the fortress, and that is God Bowser's map.
Yeah, something I do have to say is I've noticed a little bit of an attitude and momentum shift coming out of Empyreal. Early on, they were just flying on in, reckless abandon, like, yeah, we're going to beat these guys 1v1. Show me, bro. I'll do it. I'll win it every single time. But by the end of that game, they were slow and sluggish as can be. Like, seriously, if you look at the beginning of the game, they were flying in by the seat of their pants, but towards the end, they were playing so slowly, they literally ran out of time. And so I'm hoping that does not continue through into this one, because they do seem a little bit stunned, a little bit frazzled, and a little bit frozen with fear potentially of their opponents.
And maybe they just weren't playing with enough confidence like they were in that first map or after that first round. And you hear me say it, is decisiveness is going to be critical on if you want to be able to win a search and destroy. And it did feel like they were so hesitant, and they just kept getting caught out when trying to either get that bomb down or trying to make a late rotation. And that's just not the way to do it. So if there's any way you're going to take this series from Empyreal, it's got to be one respawn and then the 2 search and destroys, because it will be difficult to at least take 2 off of them. But coming on into the control hotel, it truly is really anybody's game, because this map has really elevated to offenses able to hop onto that point relatively easy. I would say it's really kind of just transitioned into an offensive heavy more map.
Yeah, it definitely can be, especially if you play your cards right. I would be very shocked if they didn't go for it all hit to B to start things off, just to test the waters up against these guys, either one of them being on the attack. That's something that a lot of really good teams do, because something that a lot of lower level teams do is they leave B a little bit undefended. They're like, oh, our opponents are going to play for A, let's go. A is the easier objective to take. Let's go and try and hold that one a little bit strongly, but they leave B uncontested. What better teams do is they go for B, because sometimes teams leave it a little bit undefended. If you can cap B, you can definitely cap A. So that does tend to make it a little bit more attacker-sided, like you're saying, if you allow that kind of thing to happen.
And you just simply can't have it happen. And again, for some reason, it looks like the players are taking a little short sabbatical, so don't go anywhere. We have the series, the winners finals, tied up at 1 apiece, with Hotel Control coming up right after this. Welcome back. Another quick break coming right at you, but we have this map 3 in the cards, the Hotel Control, and the way that you saw that search and destroy play out, it was a little bit of a passive play coming in from Empyreal. They need to bounce back here on the respawn, and honestly, Hotel, you feel like they can absolutely do it.
Yeah, what I think is going to be a big difference between either of these teams is their mentality of how they come back from a loss, because both teams have taken their L's. Let's be totally honest here. But it's how you come back from that L. It's that experience that gives that to you. And in my opinion, I think that coming into this, R9 would have that, whereas Empyreal are probably not having as much of that due to the fact that they are a little bit younger on average. But we'll see if they can have the proper mindset. Can they bounce back, say, all right, guys, last map's in the past. We're just focused on this going forward. All we got to do is just win this map, and then maybe Fortress as well. I've seen Kex and all the teams he's on do very good in Fortress Hardpoint. He just pops off on that map. And so, yeah, if they can win this one, they could still end off the series very early on. All they got to do is shake that last map off.
They truly have to. And also, I want to give everybody an update on Chaos Esports versus Providence. Currently, Chaos is up 1-0 in the series. They took a nail biter of a map 1. It was 250 to 246. So that is the loser semis happening in a rematch between Providence and Chaos. And clearly a close map 1, but I hear all the players loaded on in for the side of Empyreal and Reactor9. And right now, keep the aggression up if you are Reactor, in particular, Phenom, Bowser, Stunna. They have been exceptional. And again, it just feels like one player, Daz, sometimes just has these lulls in his gameplay but if he steps it up, they could absolutely be elevated to that next level.
Yep, and it looks like Reactor9 anticipating Empyreal's push to B, but knowing doesn't always help, and they are getting a little bit taken out, traded out ineffectively, and Freaky will go one step further and take down Phenom as well. Great start from Empyreal, seem to have definitely bounced back entirely, but God Bowser coming back in, stopping them from even getting a singular tick on B.
And that's just great stuff. He throws out that Semtex, and it landed perfectly. And I don't think he was expecting that player to be right in the corner. And number 3, it's going to be Freaky playing that one slow. He's not wanting to give anything away if he doesn't have to. It's going to be Kex in the middle of the map. He tries to go in and take down one player. He is running for his life. His Kex is still hunting him down. But again, it's the pressure onto B that has been alleviated. Reactor9 doing a great job holding off this initial push.
A lot of time going by the wayside. Empyreal surrounding A and finally getting on it after they kill that guy. 30 seconds left, though, and time has definitely been wasted in the extreme for Empyreal. Gotta watch their backs, though. God Bowser looking to make a play, looking to make a headline. As he takes down Cal. DMAC, Kex trying to stop it, and he does, but shots coming from the other side as well. They do at least get the cap onto A, but at the cost of a lot of their lives, and they do find the rat in the back as well. But Phenom already got into the position to flip out their spawns. This is going to be a long road to B for Empyreal.
A long road indeed, as Cal, though, he will find an easy one onto Phenom. The call-out's clearly on point as Daz comes away with his first, and he definitely needed that one as far as the confidence booster goes. But Kex, he's currently on 3-4-1, and he's put himself in a good spot of the map, and it's really going to come down if Stunna sees this cross, and I'm not sure if Kex is going to be waiting for that gunfight. He's actually going to take it, and now he's going to put the pressure on against Stunna, but still, it's all happening around this top and bottom bedroom. God Bowser gets one, and he is still being annoying.
Oh, and Kex in the flank again. Trademark Kex flank, but doesn't go as well as it normally does. And that gives a lot of breathing room for Reactor9. They've got an area in their opponent's spawn, and their opponents do not have the same thing yet until Freaky's going to try and do it again. Coming all the way behind Stunna. He is not going to be hearing this coming or seeing it coming. He's going to shoot him right in the back. God Bowser still up top on high, shooting him down low, but too slow to get the kill onto Kex. And Phenom will get the trade-out kill for that. Time is running really, really low for Empyreal. All these players in these good positions like Freaky, they're going to have to make the best out of it soon, and he is taken down too, enabling a push to come out very soon, and it has to be soon. God Bowser trying to stop it dead in his tracks, and they will touch with less than a second left, trying to stop it from happening, and they apparently will, looking to power burn this.
Oh, and they waited to the last second, and I love that patience from Freaky because he knew he just had to find 1 or 2 kills to give his opportunity for the teammates to hop on in. The second ticket progression, but you can't hop
but
off
they
the
get
point,
off!
and they did! Oh, unfortunately, the awareness from Empyreal not quite there, and it will be Reactor9. They get it done.
Yeah, both these teams playing pretty slowly and steadily on both of these hills. If you noticed, I was pointing out the fact that Empyreal took a really long time to even start capping A. 30 seconds were left on the board before they even started doing that. And literally less than a second left before they even get onto B. But, I mean, there's something to be said about building up your attack if you can execute it properly, and they damn near did. Just one unfortunate step off the objective meant a loss in that round for them.
And that one misstep costs them. But now you're on the defense. And it will be Daz opening up with 1. He's currently only 3 and 8 now, coming away with that double as they're going to hop onto this A site relatively quick. No contest will be coming on through. Maybe one player trying to sneak on through, but if you are the side of Empyreal, don't overcommit to this because you have everybody sitting on the right side of the map. Finally, it will be 2 players getting close, but you are giving up a lot of map positioning, and Kex, ooh, he's lucky he came away with that one because that could have gotten a little ugly.
Yeah, good recovery, though, from Empyreal. They are going to still be in a pretty stock standard position coming out of that A, and that's a position that you want to be in 100%. As long as Freaky doesn't get beamed here by Stunna, which is exactly what happens. Kex trying to get the follow-up, and he's teeing him up for another teammate of his as well, but unfortunately, Kex playing the angle really, really well. Doesn't matter, though. He does get taken down as well as Freaky. So Reactor, they do get to the spawn flip position. They're going to be spawning half the enemy team completely and utterly away from them. And so they will have an opportunity to get on this objective, but Empyreal's one saving grace is they do have some great bedroom control.
And it's a matter of clearing that player out in DMAC, and are they going to read this one? Freaky's coming in on the quick side flank. He should take care of that player, and he absolutely will do so. Make it 2. And so, oh my goodness, make it 3. Freaky again. What is with this man finding the triples? And again, the one player we have highlighted who has some of these lulls in his gameplay, it is Daz, currently sitting at 3 and 10.
Oh, rip. Almost getting fried, both of them by God Bowser, and forcing them out of their bedroom control. So a little bit being regained here by Reactor. They've got a life lead as well as a pretty good amount of time left on the board. But Kex continuously sapping their spawn, harassing them, and making it so that they can't get a full 4-man push-up is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with for Reactor. Again, another great killer from Kex. That's on the Phenom as well. He's keeping him nice and stuck in the spawn. They do finally deal with them, but now DMAC's asking them some questions and asking a lot. They don't have the answers either. And so God Bowser does finally get him, but again, Empyreal just making it scrappy enough to where Reactor9 cannot make the push.
And Freaky still holding that bottom angle, and unfortunately he might go down as it will be Stunna actually finding that kill, and God sits at 3 in a row, and this could be their chance to maybe put a little bit of pressure onto the B site, but 3 players are there, and they're still holding it down, and now that's all 3 down, and this is the chance. Can Reactor go big? And that's 4, and so now all you need to do is just stack this hill. You have the trophies, you have the numbers, as they're only getting, I think, 1 or 2 players, but they are still finding the kills, and this is truly, it should be over for the side of Empyreal, because Reactor, they're just too damn strong at the moment.
Oh, maybe not, though. Kex going for the spectacular, but can't quite get it done. His teammates trying to follow up, but all you need is Daz shooting in a straight line to take these guys down. Freaky flying in. It does get 1. No spawns left, but no time left either. Freaky has to go in now, but can't do anything at 38 HP. Well played by Reactor, winning both attack and defense.
And this is a little concerning right now if you're Empyreal, because you are now down 0-2, and you're going to be on the offense. And the first one, you had 1 chance, but they squandered it, and so they have to go big. Coming on to this one, you have to pull off the reverse sweep in the control. And you guess who's not having a good game? It's going to be Calamity, 6 and 12, putting in a little bit of damage, but you need to have him finding a few more of those kills. But Reactor9, they did a great job at just playing their life, holding down the angles, and playing for the kills. They didn't necessarily even need to get the ticks, because it was, I think, a literal 4v13 at the end.
Yep, and Empyreal just going to go for their stock standard safe play of going to A, seeing if they can get any control as a result of that. Kex seeing as far as he can go, and he finds out exactly how far that is very quickly by Daz taking him down. Quick play coming in onto A, but after that, where are they really going to go? Unfortunately, they don't have a whole lot of places to go after this. They do still get it done, but Reactor9 coming in, mopping up shop, and that is going to reset the tempo completely for Empyreal.
And right now, oh my goodness, you are getting slayed out. Look at number 5. Phenom is completely spawn blocking that backside deck, so they know everybody has to go through kitchen, and it will be God trying to do something as 2 players will drop, but it really doesn't matter because they're going to have the respawn coming on in, and oh no, who's coming into another backside flank as it's going to be Stunna, but Kex, can he come on in and find one of these players and absolutely will be able to 1 minute and 40 to work with. You don't have the lives, but maybe the map control's starting to go your way.
Yep, they're just taking their little spot here, and they're keeping control over it. And Daz losing out the fight in bed as well. Not looking too hot for a defensive hold from Reactor9, as Empyreal looking to stack the objective. Just kidding, only 1 person on the objective, other people watching for the possible counter Cal's. Cal, his head is very visible, and he's getting shot up completely. Does get naded off it, so Freaky's gonna have to take his spot, but unfortunately for him, he is a very easy target for God Bowser. Mopping up shop here for Reactor9. Should very well be able to get rid of this hill time, but instead they seem to think it's more prudent to go for some areas controlling the spawn instead.
They are looking like a well-oiled machine. They are hitting every single shot. Stunna 15 and 11, 21 and 14 for God Bowser's. They're looking to take down Empyreal, who's been almost unstoppable this entire tournament, and they could potentially take the 2-0 lead as God Bowser still hitting those shots. And you're just thinking long term, if you are the side of Empyreal, they haven't just had any chance to stack it, and finally, 1 player is going to hop on in. Daz, though, he has stepped up to another level. He started off, I think, 3 and 10. Now he's sitting at 14 and 16, so great job on his end.
Nice flying to clear off the objective for him, but Stunna unfortunately can't follow up Cal. The 1 saving grace does secure the tick, but he's got to do a lot more than that. They need to fully get control over this Freaky. You just got to stack this objective, my friends. There is no tomorrow. There's nothing to play for if you don't win this one right here. And so the contest coming on in from God Bowser, he's literally running around and knifing these guys. And Freaky will fall now as well. Amazing that God Bowser was able to get in there so undetected and do so much damage. Time running out, sees 1 and managing to stay away. But Kex looking to be a nuisance in the spawn, gets swatted out. And now the final push will come in, and this will decide it for Empyreal if they can stay in this map or not.
And right now, they do find a kill, so they could potentially win this one on lives. It's not likely anymore, as it's a 1v5. Kex, good luck, have fun, as he will get 1 for his troubles, but they know he has to hop on the point, and oh my god, what a shot that was, but unfortunately, not enough HP left. They knew where he was coming from, and wow, I would consider that a big upset for the side of Reactor 9.
Yeah, I mean, they looked truly incredible, especially in comparison to their opponents on that map. They just seemed like they were in control of everything, in control over the bedroom, in control over their opponent's spawn, spawning them out at their leisure, really dictating the tempo of the play, going into B early, going into A early, making it so that their opponent's attack on B was basically ineffective. And they just always had great positioning, always reacting to where their opponents were. Hey, our opponents are in their spawn, let's put the map on them. Our opponents are coming straight at us, let's just hold the default angles. And that is how you come away with a 3-0 win for R9.
A great win at that, and guess what? It's going to be the Fortress map 4, and you were saying, Kex, this is his map, but I've seen God Bowser go big in it, and we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. I have a feeling, Kamika, that this could be, I think, the 4th series in a row that goes to a map 5 that we've caught on stream. Absolutely love it, but Empyreal, you have to go big here on this Fortress, and it matters about that P2 and P3. You have to chain them together, and if you do that, you're sitting in a good spot.
Yeah, what I'm really looking at here is who's going to be getting control over this P3. And even the P4 to P5 rotation, that's going to be where I see a lot of the hill time going to either team's way as well. What we've seen is that Empyreal are a decent amount better in the hardpoint and the rotations as well. Kex just able to go in, get kills easy as it gets. I've seen this guy drop 40+ bombs on this map in other competitions, and so I would not be shocked if I saw him doing the same thing again. But again, having one player just popping off for your team is not always going to be the thing that gets you to the finish line. And especially if you're able to get on angles to shut that guy down before he can get to those spots where he can get all those kills, that's going to be huge for R9. That's what they've been able to do so far. They've been playing a little bit better as a holistic squad, and that's why Kex and the guys, they just haven't been able to do much on the last 2 maps, especially the last map.
And maybe it's their ego, right? Maybe they feel like they could challenge these guys early, especially that map 1, right? It wasn't relatively close at 250, 173. So they were maybe trying to ride that momentum, but immediately it got stopped in that search and destroy. It just felt like we saw a completely different Empyreal show up to that search, and they weren't feeling confident in any single strategy they were running. And then when it came to that control, it was more methodical. It was more surgical on the side of Reactor 9. They were taking their time. They didn't feel like they were pressured to everybody to hop on that hill. They had 1 or 2, and then they had the angles covered, like you said. And that's the biggest thing that Reactor 9 has done. They've shut down so many of these positions that the side of Empyreal love to roam in. And coming into this Fortress, it's going to be a little bit more scrappy, I think. And when it comes to that submachine gun, I mean, it's really going to be Kex. It's going to be Bowser who has that better game. But you've pointed out teamwork. That's really what's going to come through in this map 4.
Yeah, 100%. Teamwork and rotations. And I've seen Stunna, I've seen Phenom do a really great job in rotating. The unfortunate thing for them is on the last map, they got broken pretty hard on a lot of the hills. So I think that's probably going to be their biggest worry, is not getting the rotations, but getting broken off them early enough. Is our setup going to be enough to repel our opponents asking questions, being aggressive, and which is what they've been doing this entire series? Although I do have to say the aggression has been toned down a little bit from Empyreal. I feel like they're getting a little bit of a healthy dose of how much they can be aggressive at their opponents. Okay, in Search and Destroy, that was too much aggression. In the Control, that's not enough aggression. So I feel like they're still trying to find their happy medium, but they better find it fast, because if they lose this one, they are straight up and out of here.
I mean, they're not out of here. They will go down to the losers final.
Oh,
I want to give a little bit. I want to give a little bit of an update as well. And currently, that losers semis, it's Chaos, like we said, going up against Providence. Chaos took map 1, 250 to 246, and then Providence stole the Search and Destroy Hotel in a 6-3. So they are currently basically neck and neck when it comes to gameplay, and I'm sure it's probably getting close to an end of that map 3 as well. And we'll try to keep you updated as much as we can. But the map 4 Fortress, if you are looking at one player from the side of Empyreal to go big, Kamika, I have a feeling I know who you are going to say, but what are your thoughts?
I think Freaky. I need Freaky to go huge, because Kex, I always know he's going to go huge. That said, Freaky nades Kex to start things off. Unfortunate, but he still makes up for that by getting on the hill time here and flipping out the spawns here as well. Phenom going to instantaneously take him down, but again, still looking good here for Empyreal to start things off.
Great start for them indeed. It's going to be a Reactor, though, just trying to get as much P1 time as they can, and they're actually causing the spawn to flip. It's going to be one more player. DMAC, what can you find? Can you get a few of these kills? And unfortunately, it looks like he will be hunted down. The pre-fire is not there, so you lose the P2. You're losing the P1 right away. This is not a good start that Empyreal wanted.
Yeah, it seems like they're definitely buckling under the pressure of Reactor 9. Good shots coming out from DMAC to trade out Daz. Sees another guy back there. I don't know if he quite realized it, but Phenom still going to be making that a non-factor as he takes him down. Kex through the middle of the map. Going to be saying, we don't care that you guys got the spawns because we're just going to go for our tried and true break the hill method.
And they're punching them right in the mouth.
Kex.
And my goodness, I don't know what it is about this guy's movement. That looks so clean when you go to that third-person view, but again, who is it to stop him? It's going to be God Bowser. You have the, you have the hill and have the spawns, but unfortunately, it's still the side of Empyreal holding strong. But again, the patient play pays off in Calamity. The last one left alive, and Heal, unfortunately, will get shut down. And Reactor, they should maybe get these last 20 seconds, but number 2, Kex goes big. Unfortunately, God Bowser is also there, but it's the rotations to P3. Who is going to get the edge?
DMAC might be the savior for his team on this hill. Freaky going in, gotten those spawns by Freaky, and then there he goes, enables him to kill one, but Daz looking to stop him. Kex up close and personal, run right behind him and shoots him easy as it gets. And so now he will be getting run down by Phenom, though, and with that will come an instantaneous spawn flip. There's no reinforcements coming from Empyreal, but there are for Reactor 9. Mid-map hold coming in here from now from Stunna, as Reactor 9 have gotten the rotation down to the easiest hill to get a setup on in the entire game.
And we were talking about chain that P2 to P3, and they did it pretty well. Unfortunately, they're starting to lose a lot of these gunfights. As now the player on the point, he gets taken down. The spawns do flip, but Stunna, he gets 2, and now you have a teammate. He gets the 3rd, and then all the trades go down, and you should be able to get this last 25, but no! Again, it is just trades on trades. Cal doing everything he can to try to strip away some time from Reactor.
Yeah, he didn't know it, but he had a very small window where he could have flipped all those people out of those spawns. But obviously, Empyreal, they are going to be keeping them all spawning back in and getting that right on back. Although it was a great break, they are still finding themselves considerably behind Reactor9Esports, who keep things, despite the break, pretty dang contestable. And so now this rotation going in their favor once again. Eventually, Empyreal have to break this tempo. They have to get somehow past their opponents in this race to the rotations.
Oh, and Stunna, he maybe had a chance to win that gunfight. Unfortunately, not able to snap quick enough, but it's Kex once again finding a route into the middle of the Reactor 9 setup, and he will completely dismantle it. And now Phenom, he comes in the back, but Freaky, the drop shots are in. As he had a little bit of a slow start. I think it was 0 and 4, but it is Kex. You have pointed this man out. 11 and 10 for the squad as they get an early break, but the re-break looks like it should come on in, but this is a big 20 seconds.
Well, you can at least say that Kex is getting his engagements in more than anyone else on the entire map so far, so his impact is being felt one way or the other. God Bowser, though, making more with less. It's not about quantity, it is about quality, as he makes a lot of great space for Daz to go in there. Stick going down onto Cal as well. Well-placed nade in the extreme for Daz. And so he's going to be able to get quite a lot of this hill time here as well. Even though his teammates are in a very untenable position, he's still getting a decent amount of this hill time, and that's happened quite a lot in this map.
And it's truly, I think everybody is shocked that Reactor 9 is really going toe-to-toe with Empyreal in their respawns. It's been the teamwork. They're just not giving any freebies away like they were early on in that map 1, and now the trades go back and forth. But again, Reactor has done this where they capitalize on their kills, and they're always hopping into the hill, which you love to see, and it shows because now they find themselves up, say by about 40, as they still find 2 more kills, and they're going to extend that out even farther and have the P2 rotations.
Yep, and still denying the time for Empyreal. This is just hurtful. They're trying so hard to get any time off this hill, but it's just not working out for them. Just getting killed en masse every single time, and with that desperate push comes a full team wipe, and Reactor 9 will now be able to get a good rotation. Oh, not if Kex has anything to say about it. Catching one a little bit lacking there, and now looking to completely dismantle this whole God Bowser eating his route, but eating the shots as well. Good lord, Kex completely bullying him out there. Phenom here as well. Kex looking to make a meal out of him as well. As Cal coming up top, looking to give some assistance where assistance is needed. And Freaky, that should get them the spawns as long as they can kill Stunna, knows exactly where he's at. And this should get it for him, but playing very well there, Stunna. Will even get the kill.
DMAC is immediately going to be there, but Empyreal, they've been racking up all the initial time on the P1, and it has been almost picture perfect, as they should potentially tie this game up, but no, the last few seconds will not go their way, and it's been a solid rebound for the side of Empyreal. Cal, he will get 3 in the feed. Can he make it 4? They're going to challenge this player out. I love it. They're not allowing Reactor to get any sort of easy scrap time as Cal tries to go and get aggressive, but I mean, honestly, you're okay with this because you're going to have those close spots.
So you say, but unfortunately, because both those players died in that position, Reactor9 could easily sprint into the split spot and get them spawning out. And just like that, they 4-man the objective and completely flip the map on their opponents. Expertly done from Reactor9 to catch out their opponents and punish them for an overextension. And so, Kex trying to make a little bit of something back for this objective, but there's just too many people in and around here. Too many good angles being held by Reactor9. Kex still gonna manage to bypass it somehow and completely wreck the hill once again. This guy is something special, man.
Something special is an understatement as he gets another one. That's 4 in a row, and that will secure the scrap. Who is on the rotation? It was DMAC, as you do have 1 more, or maybe 2 more players from the side of Empyreal. If they get this hill, they'll find themselves in a good lead. But again, it is just the aggression from Reactor. They have not let the foot off the gas. They are putting the pressure on the neck of Empyreal as Daz gets a big one, and he is 19 and 18. And the one player who has those off games is starting to turn it up here in map 4.
Reactor9 are finally going to be able to get some hill time uncontested, and Empyreal will have to make a full frontal assault. This is exactly what you do not want coming into this hill, and especially with Phenom asking you some questions to the back line. Absolutely ambitious chow there from literally 1 HP from Daz, but it pays off. Sometimes they expect at least, and he's going to find another one on a DMAC, but the break is fully coming on in here. It's only a matter of time, it seems, before Reactor9 loses this, but that's only insofar as Bowser has something to say about it. He and Phenom are going to uproot them from those great spawns, going for the rotation, but runs right onto DMAC. Great rotation hold there coming from him, but Daz is here as well.
Daz has been making plays left and right as can't win that gunfight. DMAC with the angle held it down, made sure he secured that kill. But nobody, I don't think, expected Phenom to be in this backside corner, but Cal still wins the gunfight either way. And that's all 4 members down. You get a good clean sweep if you're Empyreal. You decide to push out the map, and it's Kex. He is the player that's going to be so annoying if you are Reactor, and he is doing it again. 30 and 19. Oh, it's going to be 31. I thought he had it for a moment. Maybe didn't get the reload quite quick enough, but again, 25 seconds of uncontested time. Empyreal looking good here.
Like I said, Kex does stack bodies on this map. We're getting pretty close to the end of the game, and it wouldn't shock me if he dropped a 40 bomb with how he's going so far. But Empyreal, they have an opportunity to catch back up here on this objective. Flying back out is going to be Cal, but at least stopping Phenom from going in here and shelling out for this. And so there's not really any reason for Reactor to keep on shelling out for this, aside from getting the good spawns here, which would be a great benefit for them. Unfortunately, they are going to lose the fight for that as well. So instead, what they're going to try and do is get back on this objective, beat out this guy Freaky up inside a house, and make sure that they don't get trapped in these spawns.
And Freaky, he is doing a good job just doing that. Can he win oh my goodness, okay. And he gets a second for free. It's still Reactor sitting in the point, but Kex, he doesn't need to do too much. He's just going to sit down. He has that information as, again, he is a walking 2-piece for the side of Empyreal. God, Bowser still trying to tear it on up, but Empyreal, they're looking to have their first lead change of the game, and they finally get it, as right now it feels like the side of Reactor, they are starting to fall apart. Kex is on 5 in a row, 35 and 21. He is trying to push this one to the map 5.
Look at this man, 5 kills in a row, and another one helped with Cal. 35 kills, another one should have been his, but it's okay. He's got enough to go around. Coming around the side, looking to stop this push over to A. He knows where they're spawning. He's keeping them stuck back in it. Kex, another one, almost. Oh, so close. And so Bowser does finally break on out of there, but Kex, his impact cannot be denied.
And I think he just ran out of ammo, too, for that last gunfight. He probably would have had it, and Now, if you're Imperial, you can maybe secure this map on the P1, but the gunfights aren't going your way, and now it's going to go to the side of Reactor 9, and you can't just sit back. You have to contest it for just a little bit, and Daz, last time we left off with him, he was, I think, 19 and 18, has definitely gotten pieced up the past few lives. Still, it is a lot of time here on this P1 and Reactor. They might find a lead change, but guess who's going big? It's Phenom for Reactor, and oh my goodness, they're only 17 seconds away, and look at the setup they have, and oh no, Phenom, he goes big with another two.
They gotta go.
You have to go.
They gotta go. Cal trying to find this guy in this objective. It's the last thing he does. It might be. Finds one. Flying on in. Cal trying to be the hero. And they do stop them dead in their tracks. But what did it cost? Everything. They've lost the spawns. They've got to get to them fast. Kex, cruise missile. One potential saving grace here for them. But he's not going to have time to call it in. He's got to go right on in. He's got to fly in. And DMAC can be calling in the cruise instead. Literally picture perfect finish here for them potentially. As only Daz is up. And there's not going to be much he can do to stop this. One last ditch effort coming in here. Don't know if they can even touch it in time. They're going to have to fly in by the seat of their pants, but they are caught dead by Empyreal.
What a way to finish it. A 250, 249. The hype is there, and oh, you can see it. It's a sigh of relief from one of the players. I think it was Kex. He was like, I swear to God, if I just drop 40 and we lost this one, I will be so mad. But we have another map 5, and he actually dropped 41 for the dub, and what a close one it was. But heading on into this map 5, Kamika, oh, I mean, you're feeling a little nervous if you're Imperial. This one's gonna be an interesting map.
Straight up, dude. Any momentum Imperial would have lost going into that map, completely regained. That is something that does not happen every day. Something that's got to be making you feel good. And so, man, Kex especially, I told you it's possible we could be seeing him dropping a 40 bomb. I've seen him do it many times on this map, and he does not disappoint. Once again, 1 point victory over their opponents on Fortress, and we are going to Mercado.
Oh, Lord, and I think if you're a Reactor 9 fan, you are just hanging your head. You were 1 second away. They even had the rotations, but guess who it was? It was Kex, and it was, I think, DMAC called in his streak, and he actually got 2 players. There was no trophy on the hill, and that was the true game changer at 1 second left to allow his teammates to go on, and that was an absolutely incredible map 4.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get over that map today, dude. Straight up, I'm going to be thinking about that one for the rest of the day. Even as we go into grand finals, it's going to be tough to hit a high as that. But, I mean, they're damn well going to try going into this Mercado Search and Destroy. This is a map that I've seen Kex and whatever team he's on at the time do pretty decent at. They are able to bully their opponents off of objectives quite a lot. Only issue sometimes being they do get beat out by the util, which is a big contributing factor to teams winning on this map. Don't throw down your trophy systems. You're going to get naded off on the defensive side, and it's quite as equally likely to happen on the attacking side. So I think that's going to be one big skill check on this map, as well as who's more likely to hit B and get mid-map control as a secondary factor of being not able to hit A.
I mean, everybody, the tension is in the air. This is to secure your grand finals, right? Like, this is what everybody wants, a map 5. And like I said, this is the 4th series in a row where we have gone to map 5. 1 was almost a reverse sweep, but Kamika, do you think this is going to a round 11? Tell me straight. Do you think it's happening?
Well, we've already seen one, so it would not shock me statistically if it did. These teams are basically inseparable in terms of their wins. Let's forget about that control. But other than that, that statistic is by and large true. These teams cannot be separated by much. Round 11 in map number 2. 1 point differential in the hardpoint. You can't even really script that, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up. That is just completely and utterly an indicator that these teams are a great match for each other. Much respect has to be given by the end of this game. But yeah, going into Mercado, I've already said what I expect to be big difference makers. Potentially even a sniper coming out from Kex. I know I told him that he should probably put it away because the one angle he could hold it on was getting beaten down upon by the enemy team sub, making it basically impossible for him to use. But on this map, that is not the case. You can really get away with a lot on the long angles with snipers, a lot less likely that you're going to get run down by a sub. So I think that could be a difference maker for Imperial as well as Kex's sniping ability.
And watching the middle of the map, that's kind of going to be the key, and being able to switch up where your sniper is going, having that positional awareness, saying, hey, they're probably expecting me to be here, so maybe lay down and hold a little bit of an off angle and wait for that other team to make the mistake. But Empyreal, I mean, they got it to a 6-5 in that map too, but it really didn't feel all that close. It kind of felt like still Reactor 9 had control of a majority of that game. So coming on into this map 5, you were saying it, that this is Empyreal's map where they feel comfortable on, but it's a matter of who's going to be able to find those first bloods. And guess what? Reactor 9 found 8 of them in that map too.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of it's going to come down to your util timings. A lot of it's going to come down to what routes you decide to take. In comparison to that, it's going to be how much you can slow your opponents down, how good a position you can get, how much you can deny in terms of rotation ability. I'm looking at UKEX. And so, yeah, how willing are you likely to switch things up and go for B? And I think those are going to be some big things, question marks over their heads as we go in. And judging by how aggressive Empyreal has been on a lot of their maps, I would not be too shocked if we saw them go for a little bit of a cheeky play at B.
I love me some cheeky plays when it comes to that search and destroy, and in particular, one player that really kind of shined out in that map too. It was in particular Stunagoat. He made an incredible 1v1 play, right? He got that information. He just sound hoard the entire bomb right as that player picked it up, knew he had to go down. Few seconds left, he just went out for an easy chow. So that veteranship you are really going to be relying on if you're the side of Reactor 9, right? It's going to be a big one for them.
I mean, yeah, we saw a great example of that earlier when Stunna was in that 1v1. He clocked that bomb was down right near him, and he saw how much time was left on the clock as well. And so he's like, you know what? All I got to do is just sit here, wait, make sure this guy doesn't come from behind me, hold a great angle, the most likely angle to attack him from. That would have been devastating for him if he got shelled from. And so he just waited for the bomb to get picked up, get planted, and as soon as he shelled out, there's no way the guy was going to be in a position to shell him out. So point being, Stunna and the guys have shown that they have some great experience coming in here that has made a huge difference for them in the search and destroy so far, and we'll see if that can come through again.
And maybe they'll shoot more bodies and come away with another win. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see, because I know if it goes to around 11 and it comes down to 1v1 and there's a little time left on the clock, they're surely going to let you know that they just absolutely curb stomped you in the final one. And Empyreal, they are on the verge of being handed their first series loss of the entire tournament. And if it comes at a winner's finals, oh, that's got to be a little difficult. And I mean, in the losers finals right now, oh my goodness, guess who it is? Providence get their revenge against Chaos. They won the map 4, 250 to 193, and they took the control in a 3-0. So Providence take down Chaos. What an upset. I don't think anybody was expecting, including us. We were not expecting that to be. So our top 3 have been determined, but now it's going to come down to potentially our team that's going to go to the grand finals.
Yeah, man, I was saying, don't count them out. I saw a lot of people saying, you know what, if these guys go on to fight Chaos, then it's going to be Chaos in top 3. But unfortunately for you guys that were saying that, you're wrong. So we're going to be seeing a different bit of a top 3 going on here. A little bit of a chance for a, as I like to call it, 100 Thieves of the low tiers events to happen here. Because let's not forget, they've been in the losers bracket this entire thing. They played so many games trying to claw their way back up here, and damn well they're doing it.
Damn well indeed. And they went all the way from losers round 1 to get to the losers final. So, dude, it's just a question of who has the gas. And now it's Reactor 9. Can you go big or will you go home, Empyreal? Can you just fend off Reactor? Because that's what it just honestly feels like. They are fending for their lives against Reactor, and they have been the ones being the aggressor in this series.
And look at what I called out. A play to be to start things off. Reactor 9, this is what they did on Hotel as well. Not too surprised to see that they're sending Freaky over here, because he basically dismantled them every single time they did this. Kel getting a snipe in the middle of the map, and DMAC doing some good stuff as well. And yeah, that's about as disastrous of a B push as you could ask for.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I just blinked and I'm looking at everybody. Where'd they all go? Because Phenom, he's left in a 1v4 in the initial opener, but look at Kex. So what is this angle? Does he know that player is there? I mean, yeah, well, he gets the information now, and they are just going to stun him and collapse. Yeah, he is going to be in a very, very difficult spot here. He's going to go right into the line of sight of DMAC, but ooh, good little read right there. I'm kind of confused why Kex is taking it so slow. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Phenom does not see him, though, fortunately for Kex, and that was starting to get a little bit scary, putting a little bit of a damper on an otherwise good round. But, I mean, still, Empyreal, amazing hold on B. You might have lost 2 people more than necessary, but who really cares? That's just extra buys to get the job done, and Kex does get the job done at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter how you win it, if you win it.
I mean, they won it, but that was scary. That should have never been in that situation, because
you can see why they were holding back on him.
And I see that Kex, he wasn't even ready for that reach out because he was bobbing up and down. Eventually, he does get the kill, but my goodness, Phenom, the guy's hitting lasers. And what a way to start it. And like you said, the trophies are out, and so it doesn't allow any of the nades to hit. And immediately the aggression comes through, and I'm not sure. Freaky just goes flying through a top window, and I'm not sure how I like that call. DMAC, though, is there on the trade.
That's not a bad one. I mean, sometimes you can catch your opponent by surprise, but I mean, unfortunately, Reactor9 was ready for it. They reacted very quickly to the guy jumping out the window at them, right at their feet. And yeah, not much else that can really be done. Kex going for one of his tried and true flanking attempts once again, but Stunna ready for it. Reactor9 just seemed to know what to expect coming from that last search and destroy on what their opponents are wanting to do.
And they are starting to get a feel for how Kex plays in these searches, because they immediately knew he was coming in through a flank. And again, just great reads by Stunna. That's that veteranship like we were talking about, shining through here in the map 5. Is the nades, they are just being tossed. Kex, is he going to try to find an opening through the top? But nope, it is God Bowser to shut him down, and that might already be the A site open.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Cal's going to be on an angle that, I mean, if he does take a chow from it, there's a guy already watching it. So Empyreal, they are not going to be able to stop this defuse. Great initial merge coming out from Reactor9. The util overload was immaculate. It was incredible. It forced anyone on the site that would be holding the default angle not being able to do it. And with that, you get this bomb plant scenario going on here where Empyreal is going to be forced to collapse on them from all sides, which is sometimes very difficult to orchestrate.
Difficult is an understatement, as they're still trying to find any of these kills, and they might actually catch out God Bowser, and they absolutely do. And now 20 seconds left, and DMAC gets a, or excuse me, I think Phenom gets a bad time, but oh, they still find it. Now it's a 1v1. Phenom, the one player you probably want in this situation, and he doesn't need to check much. 9 seconds is, yep, the time's already wasted. Freaky will get it, but it doesn't matter. Reactor play the time to perfection, as it's going to be another round for the side of 9.
Yep, that's just yet another round that Reactor9 has won by just waiting their opponents out. You can definitely tell that these guys are quite experienced. I've casted a lot of these guys since Modern Warfare 2019, but a lot of them probably have been playing even a lot earlier than I've been casting them. But yeah, goes to show you the experience involved with playing these games. They got the composure. They know exactly what to do in order to out-mind game these guys. And so that's going to get them yet another round on the board.
Reactor, they are not, you know, I mean, they're just feeling so damn confident. They're taking every single challenge, but again, Kex, he has those pop-off moments for Empyreal, so quickly he gets it into a 3v2, now a 2v2, now a 1v2, and it's going to be Stunna, the GOAT. Why do they call you the GOAT? Is because he can clutch up in these moments. Does he have another vintage moment left in him?
Very intel from Kex without even having to take a shot to do it. He's going to reach out Stunna. He does a little bit just to get the info. He's going to try and even get the kill on Stunna, but either way, he's just putting him off the angle, making it so that he can't take this as fast as he wants to. And Kex even going to go for a little bit of a flankerino on this guy, seeing if he's coming from the middle of the map, and going to look to condense himself on this guy. Stunna getting a little bit collapsed on, and not much you can do there. Well executed envelopment from Empyreal.
Oh, baby, we might have this round 11 coming on through relatively quick, but Kex, he came in on that quick side flank. DMAC, though, with all the information to give, and he cleans up a 1 or 2 bullet. So good stuff coming on in from Empyreal. They did not falter when they were contested, and it was their submachine guns that ended up going big. DMAC also, remember, he had a very, very tough map too. Not this time around. He's already got 3 kills on the board, and everybody is pulling their weight from both squads.
Yep, trophy system coming out from these guys, both teams, and Kex looking to get stuck in the top. Is going to find one still mid-sprint, not ready for the aggression once again. Kex flying in, getting another, does die on the way out, but well worth his time of challenging that.
Well worth it, as they do have the numbers advantage, a 3v2, and Daz, he's kind of left all alone out here. This is going to be so difficult to find an opening, and he's expecting somebody to maybe come through the middle of the map, but Cal's also holding over DMAC. As they're just going to kind of pepper a few shots on in there, let him know, say, hey, we're still here. But wow, what a read from Bowser. As he will get freaky, is Bowser going to catch out one more player? Only pops a dead silence. He might actually catch out Calamity or Willie. He actually gets DMAC a 1v1 as Calamity maybe a little bit nervous, and God, Bowser, he can hear him. He can hear him, and oh, he gives it up at the worst possible moment. Empyreal, they shut it down and now take the advantage in the search.
He thought he was just a little further back than he was. Cal sort of messed with his expectations of where he was going to be based on the sound cue, I do believe. And so, yeah, Cal going to be able to clutch that one up for his team and get even the lead now going in their way. One thing I do have to say is, although I do like the nade dumps, making sure that Empyreal are honest with their trophy system placement, it does leave them without any ability to challenge anything out if the util dump does not net them a kill or control over the bomb site. As you can see, none of them had any util left, and they were basically stuck.
And it's been a square up on this A site besides that first round, and God, Bowser puts himself, but again, Kex, he is just putting the aggression to almost able to make it 3. It doesn't matter. His teammate cleans it up, and now Stunna in another clutch moment. Can he find this kill onto Cal? And this is going to be so difficult for her to retake because you have to clear out Cantina. We all know when it comes to Hardpoint, it is the hardest place to clear.
Yep, and Stunna in a very unenviable position right now. DMAC watching the long angle, does catch him though. Stunna going to look to reposition, but doesn't have a whole lot of time to do so. Dead Silence is going to be popped, still a Semtex in his back pocket. He's thinking, maybe there's going to be a guy over here. Unfortunately stuck, might cost him a little bit of seconds, but either way, Cal going to be holding the close angle. Stunna predicting that. Well-experienced player, this guy, refilling his Dead Silence and going for the Ninja Defuse. Freaky, he's going to be hard-pressed to go for this and get the timing correctly on it. And no, he gets it just in time. I was so worried that he wouldn't check it, but he does, and he will still net the round for his team.
I mean, at the buzzer, there could not have been more than a half a second left, and I do love that play because Stunna, he knew he really didn't have many options because these players, they will not peak that at 14 seconds. They know to stay alive and play their life, but we come into the swing round, 4-2 Empyreal, and it doesn't feel like the side of Reactor9 is that far behind. They've needed a few clutch moments. They just have not been able to come up with it, and they're going to be immediately going towards this B site. And who is going to be the lone player? Kexon, he's going to run to a frenzy of Reactor9 players.
That is not what you want to see when you turn a corner if you're Kex. Just run right into the path of 3 dudes with their guns trained on you like, oh no, I've clearly made a mistake here. But either way, Empyreal can be losing control over B, and this is going to be a really hard site to take back. Stunna everybody on a really good angle to stop these guys. DMAC going to bully him off of it though, but Daz is also in a position where he can help his team out quite a lot. Cal with a great kill to be getting on the back line, but in the middle of the map, Freaky falls. So Reactor9 still in a great position to close this one out, and Cal is going to be really hard-pressed to retake this.
And when you get the bomb down at B, the player up top, he doesn't need to do anything fancy. All he needs to do is snake and just get that information of where the other players are. And it was simply too easy for the side of Reactor9. But like you said, I think once Kex just turned that corner, he's like, oh no, this is the moment. He realized he effed up. And it was just 3 players who just got him down in his prime. But just like that, Reactor, they bring it back within 1. This has round 11 written all over it.
I mean, like, I get it. Your opponents have just been constantly going in for the other objective, and so you're thinking, the last round was pretty close. I don't like how close that was, so let me see if I can get anything going my way on this flank. They haven't really been watching it, but unfortunately the one time he goes for it is the one time they're actually going for it. So it's just bad timing for Kex, unfortunately. Bad timing for God Bowser as well as he falls down to DMAC.
And now quickly into that 2v2. Calamity gets the trade in. Phenom and Stunna left against Cal and Freaky. And just, you look at the stat line, man, and it is perfect across the board. Everybody has done their job in some way, shape, or form. But now it comes into the 2v2. This is where you have to have that ice and get a feel for this squad. And I love the way that Empyreal, they're starting to get a feel of how Reactor 9 is playing, and they're not over-challing anything. They're making sure they're throwing a shoulder, trying to get in a few shots, but oh my goodness, look at Stunna on this angle.
They see that their opponents are in the middle of the map. So instead of taking the angle that would be easily able to be shot by them, they instead rotate. Cal can be catching Stunna a little bit flat-footed there, but Phenom coming around the corner doesn't expect him to be there already, and Empyreal with the big brain play, rotating away from their opponents and getting the round in their favor.
This is coming down to the wire, and if you lose here, if you're Reactor 9, you're just going to be looking back at that 1 point in Hardpoint saying, we were just basically 1 kill away from being able to close this out in a 3-1, but Empyreal from out of nowhere learned how to play that search. And so far, but it's the 5-3 curse, Kamika. We don't know really who this is going to be, but Empyreal been playing exceptional.
Cal in the middle of the map. Kex caught with an 8 in his hand. They know exactly where he is. Pretty weak. Hopping over him, taking him down. Well played by God Bowser, keeping the game alive for his team, and even staying alive after DMAC tries to return fire. Phenom does manage to come out on top of him too. 2 HP remaining. So unfortunate for DMAC, but either way, that's a 2-for-0 trade. Bomb site control completely and utterly in their hands, and Cal actually going to give up the angle and try and make his presence known in the middle of the map.
And he's going to try to pull out this sniper. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Oh my goodness,
so
he gets
unlucky.
A hit marker. Oh, you gotta be just angry, shouting out like, why couldn't I have just hit like a headshot on the cross? But a 2v4, this is so difficult to retake, as you're really relying on Freaky to somehow make a incredible play. As Phenom, he's holding this angle perfectly, and we'll find that kill. And this is going to be another round as we head to 10.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of the last Search and Destroy for Reactor 9. They had the better ice in their veins towards the end of the game, and unfortunately, under the pressure of the last Search and Destroy, their opponents freaked out. They froze. They didn't do a dang thing, and they basically put themselves in a position where they could not win up against their opponents. We got to see if there's a change from that last Search and Destroy. We got to see if there's growth. A little bit of a redemption storyline coming in here from Empyreal. It's all in their hands. All they got to do is win one of these next 2 rounds, and they will be guaranteed $700 at least.
Oh, and you do not want to go to losers right now with how hot Providence is hitting God Bowser. God Bowser just gets tagged up by every single stun in the books, but like you said, the nade dump, it does not connect. Yeah, you know there's players there, but not much else is to be given, and they're playing this one slow as they're trying to find any type of angle for that advantage. As DMAC, he's going to try to pop on out Phenom. He's in a very tough spot, but every single player is in and around this point within basically 20 meters of each other.
Really trying to jostle hard for this. DMAC coming over the top. Is anyone going to be seeing this coming? No one's watching it. But laying down, pops up at the perfect time, but oh, DMAC with 1 HP remaining does send him packing. Daz, unexpecting of the push as well, does fall. And so it's a 2v2 situation coming through the middle of the map. Kex not ready for it, and wow, great timing. Reactor 9 pushing this to another round 11.
And this is what lands are meant for. Map 5, round 11, winners finals.
Oh,
who is going to get this one? Because it is God Bowser who goes big, my man. 9 and 6, I think it was. I don't know if that's correct. Maybe 9 and, yep, 9 and 6.
9 and 6.
But, I mean, it's almost identical across the board. Kamka, bring us home.
Wow. Either team, it's all in their hands. Sudden death, 1 final round of Search and Destroy. Oh, painful hit marker from Kex. That was basically a win. If he didn't just get a hit marker there, so unfortunate. But still, Stunna here, ready, trying to make sure that they don't run him down, buying some time with that nade, still keeping his stun in his back pocket, his trusty stun. It's where the name comes from, probably. But either way, Kex in the middle of the map, they gotta be very cautious of this guy. They're all bypassing it, but he sees all these people crossing. He's probably calling out that you can probably go for A soon. It's great intel.
And that's perfectly Kex. He wishes he came away with that blood, but immediately they're wrapping over to B. You have two players far in the deep back, but yep, it's going to be this A site. And honestly, right now, if you're a Reactor, play for the retakes because you've been pretty good at them so far in this tournament. But again, Empyreal, they're waiting so long to get this bomb plant down, and they have full site control, and that could be the problem. Freaky, he's going to take that angle. Is anybody watching middle of the map? Oh, and Bowser gets that information, but unfortunately a little bit too late as Kex. Can he find the first blood?
Stunna's gonna hold that angle close because he doesn't want to get shot, but he does anyway. Kex going for the spectacular, but Cal following it up nicely. It's a 2v4 situation as Empyreal got the site completely and utterly locked down. God, Bowser dead sound still procced, coming around the corner, looking for Kex, but runs right past him, and it's all on Daz. 21 seconds, going for the craziness, but can't get it done. Standing up and feeling real good there, Freaky, pointing the finger, saying, I just beat you, and man, oh man, that was crazy. Passion definitely flowing here on the center.
And Empyreal, guess what? You said they said, hey, you might have won the battle, but we win the war. It goes all the way to map 5, round 11. They lost in the map 2, round 11. They get the revenge, and they did not allow that 5-3 curse to get to them. And guess what? Who found that first blood? It was Kex. You have to give that man credit. He had nerves of steel holding it down, but just look at this series, Comica, how close it was all together. Yeah, besides that map 3, we don't want to talk about that map 3, but my goodness, map 2, map 4, map 5, this is everything to look for in these land environments.
Yeah, I mean, 2 6-5s in the Search and Destroy, 2 round 11s. You cannot get any better than that. And so I would be shocked if these guys weren't playing each other once again in the grand finals, excuse me. But at the very least, Empyreal are going to have a little bit of an edge going into it. I mean, hell, dude, they might need it with how close this has been. All these maps are basically coin flips. But yeah, Mercado, that last one really came down to Kex. Kex is everything. Doesn't always have to get the kills, even though he got the first blood. But he got the rotational call out down. He said, these guys both rotate away. We should be able to brutalize these guys on this objective, and he was so right. They just went in, took it away without firing a single shot.
And again, I said it, is you're going to be looking back at that one point in Hardpoint. You were at 249. They were at, 233, and they weren't able to close it out. And guess what? Empyreal says, you leave a small crack in the door. Guess what? We're the SWAT team, and we're going to kick that down. And guess what? They have secured that grand finals and have at least secured that $700, like you said. But on the side of Reactor 9, they're going up against a hot Providence who have gone all the way from losers round 1 to this point.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just as hyped for that next one as well. I mean, seriously, these guys have the Cinderella story. They've got the 100 Thieves-esque comeback here, right here in the low tiers, dude. You do not see this happen every day. It's why people make such a big deal about it. And so, I mean, I'm looking very happy to continue with that storyline as they are going to be going up against Reactor 9, excuse me. For some reason, I forgot who lost that game. It was just such a blur. It literally could have been either one, but either way, I'm really curious to see how Reactor 9 does up against these next opponents.
And Providence, they are no slouches, and we knew how Rispy was feeling going on in against Chaos. He had a lot of respect for him, but guess what? They body slammed him when it came to the map 2 and map 3. It didn't look like it was even close, or map 3 and map 4 didn't look like it was even close. As now Rispy's going to have that chance to maybe secure a grand final spot, but you have to go through Reactor 9, and you're thinking about the mental too, right? If you're Reactors, you lose a map 4, 250, 249. You lose a map 5, 6-5. That's gotta be demoralizing coming on in, and you need your captain to step up and grab everybody by the shoulder and say, hey, it's okay. We still have another shot at this. Let's not give it up. Let's not throw in the towel yet.
Yeah, the good news is, at a land center being about a shoulder width apart from your opponent, you can grab a shoulder just like you were mentioning and shake some sense into him. And I mean, these guys, they've shown us already in that series that they have the ability to shake off a loss, play the next map just as well as they normally do. Again, the search and destroys are just a coin flip. I wouldn't say that has anything to do with them losing focus, losing their minds. They just got some unfortunate intel down on them. I anticipated their opponents to switch things up, and it just didn't work out for them. But I would be very shocked if they just put their heads down and got dejected after this one.
Yeah, they need to get after it for sure. And so I think we're going to be having an interview, and I think it's going to be freaky. I hear him coming on in the background, and there he is from Empyreal. A great, I mean, and a much needed win. Talk about a nail biter of a series. Freaky, how are you feeling after that one?
I mean, wow. I mean, the heart's still pumping. I mean, I feel good. I mean, a lot of people didn't think we were ever going to make it to Sunday. A lot of people didn't even think we would make it out of pool plays with the team that we had. But I mean, I'm so proud of the team. I mean, they carried me that map 4, that hard point. I mean, I was trying to rotate, just trying to block, get some kills when I can, maybe soak some hill time. But I'm feeling really good right now, man.
Oh, I bet. And so, yeah, I mean, you guys are at least guaranteed $700 to come away with this now, and so yeah, that's got to be feeling pretty good at least. But looking back on the series, what do you think was like the big difference maker? What brought you guys over the top in that final search and destroy instead of the previous one?
So I mean, in the previous search and destroy, there was a couple really unfortunate timings and situations that we had. I feel like we should have gone up to a quick 2-0 start. I think the difference was we kind of had a little bit of a talk after that map 2, and after that map 3 that we lost in the control. We knew we were a better respawn team, at least in the hardpoint stand of things. And I mean, we should have won the first search and destroy. So our team did really good at keeping each other composed, kind of bringing everybody back to ground level. Realizing that it's just 2 maps, 20 minutes, and we can get to the map 5 because we were really confident in our S&D. I believe that's only the second time we played Mercado this weekend, but we have someone on my teams with someone on the other team. So we were kind of clashing strategies, mixing things up because we knew it was just going to be a read battle. We kind of knew and understood how each other played, but I think the composure that we kept was probably the big difference through that series and just, the entire tournament so far. So.
And that's big for sure. Yeah, coming on in and being able to take that one, especially in that map 4, I saw the player cams after you guys won that 250, 249, you all just lean back and like, oh, yeah, we got that one. We got it. Fist bumps abound. But bring us through that round 11. What was going through your guys' brains right there?
So, the first thing that went through my head is please do not get God-nated from spawn. I've seen that happen today a couple times. But we kind of just said, our A strategy's been working perfectly. We've been getting first bloods, and, we did really well at capitalizing off the first bloods. So I pretty much just told the team, do the same exact thing, do it with confidence, trust each other. Let's work for this first pick. Let's clear out some information, take our time before we get the bomb down. Which we did. We took plenty of time. So after DMAC got after Kex got the first pick with the sniper on short, and we cleared tunnel with our stun, I got the quick bomb down. And after that, I was kind of smiling. I was like, there's just no way we lose this. I'm like shaking. I'm happy at the same time. I'm trying to make sure nobody chows. Everyone stay put. But honestly, yeah, we just stuck with the same strategy. It was just the confidence that we had in each other. Honestly, that's all it was, just confidence in making the plays.
That's fair. I was pointing out more or less the same thing. I noticed a big shift in your guys' confidence going into that final one, so I think you hit the nail right on the head there, dude. And so I noticed at the very end, you guys stood up, pointed the fingers, and I was wondering what exactly was said between you and your opponents in that last little bit there.
So we got some friends in the other team, some teammates in the other team. Those guys, we love those guys. They've been competing for a while. They've won some things, and maybe we're the underdogs going into it. There's some talk before the game. They didn't think we were going to beat them. They didn't think we had a chance. But I was pretty much just letting them know that, I'm here. I told you I'm here. This is different. This is different than what you think. And, yeah, but I'm pretty confident we're going to see those guys in grand finals, and it's going to be another banger series, so.
Hey, you love to see it, and Freaky, I appreciate you coming on in for the post-game interview, and good luck to have a little bit of rest before that grand finals kicks off, because like you said, it's going to be a banger series.
All right, guys, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Take it easy.
All right, and on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a little bit of time between now and the next series. We need a little bit of an opportunity to take a little bit of a chill outside from the awesomeness that just ensued from that last map. What a banger, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys missed it, you missed out on a lot. You guys should definitely go and rewind the stream and watch that and follow both those teams as well. I'm sure that clips are going to be posted on social media as well. And yeah, while you guys are watching that, if you missed it, we're going to be going to a quick break, so do not go anywhere. We're going to be coming back here real soon with the Losers Finals.